Once all exceptions are handled, your program may need to perform some tasks to clean things up before the program stops, or your program may need some way of ending gracefully if it can't handle the exception thrown to it. Let's look at how you can finish up your exception handling tasks using a finally block, which is used at the end of a series of catch blocks. So to handle the situation where some resources or some code needs to be executed regardless of what happens with the try-catch, we create a finally block. And that finally block goes at the end after all the tries and all the catches. So you just write finally, and then start a new block, and then put your code there. So if we want to make sure, for example, that infile gets closed, then what we can do is we can say if infile not equal null, infile.close. And we can put an else here and say else infile not open, something simple. And that takes care of it. However, take a look. We have an error over infile saying cannot find symbol. Well, the reason it can't find the symbol is that infile was declared inside the try block, which means that in the finally block, it's out of scope. So to fix that, what we need to do is we need to declare it above the try block. And then because the system is going to tell us it may or may not have been instantiated, we need to assign it null. And actually, it's not input, it's infile. So let's fix that. There we go. Then we have an error on this line, and that's very simple to fix. We just need to get rid of that data type buffered reader. So we declare infile and set it to null. Then we instantiate it with a file reader object. Then we can test, and then we can run. So the finally block can be used when you have code that you absolutely have to have executed regardless of what else happens in the program. As I mentioned before, if you have code in the try block that doesn't get executed because an exception was thrown, then there's nothing else you can do because that, more than likely, you'll never get back to that section of the code. So the solution to that is to put code that you need to execute in a finally block.